Hi. Welcome to the video. I apologize if I'm acting a little bit more awkward than usual in this video. I'm not filming in my own house, so I feel a tiny bit awkward that someone might be listening to me talking to myself, but it's fine, it's fine. Let's give you a little rundown of how my life's been going. I'm living in someone's house. That's not mine. It's not my house. Got 3 kids, 2 of them close to my age. One of them, cute little 12-year-old girl. Pretty good friends with her at this point. Trying to be consistent with this YouTube thing still. It's a little weird with everything that's been going on with me lately. Filming this YouTube video was the only reason that I got dressed today, so yeah. So today I'm doing a music themed Q&A because I get a lot of questions when I sing for people, and they're like, they ask me a lot of questions. So I was like, sure, like my Instagram followers might have some questions. So I meant to film this video like a long time ago. So I did one of those questions things in July, and then I did another one today so I could get like a few more questions. So let's get into it. This is a good one to start off with. What made you want to sing? Like, I guess my earliest performance was when I was 8 and I like sang in church, and I was like, this is cool, like I like singing. But I always just like sang along to songs and liked singing, so there's not really like a thing that made me want to sing. I've just always enjoyed it. So what's your most emotional song you've written and why? This is a very hard question to answer. I write a lot of emotional songs. I'll give you 2 answers. So one of my answers is a song called Truth Is. It was like a song that I wrote after like my very first real breakup, and I was very, very hurt by it, and I was really messy. So that song turned out to be like a really sad, really emotional, sensitive one. And then there's one that came from another breakup called Distance. Those are probably my most emotional songs. Not sure I'll ever play them in public. Alright, what's your biggest muse or inspiration for your music? Usually love and breakups and relationships. Absolutely love writing love songs. Absolutely love writing breakup songs. Just love it. So usually the boys that I like at that time are my muses for my songs. Do you schedule when you plan to write songs, or do they just come spur of the moment? Lots of times they come spur of the moment, but also sometimes I sit down and I'm like, okay, I feel like writing a song right now. Don't really know what it's gonna be about, but I feel like writing one, so let's write one. So that happens sometimes, but most of the time it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing this thing and there's a song idea in my head about it, let's write it. So it's usually just spur of the moment. My roommate just sent me a funny text, I'm sorry. How long have you been writing songs for, and how many songs have you written? I've been writing songs since I was 12 years old. Well, I guess 11. I wrote my first song when I was 11, but I didn't like really get into it till I was 12. I've written 130 something, I think. I just finished a song last night, so let's see how many I have now. Okay, I have 134 songs as of yesterday. So I'm really proud of that. I remember when I was on my first volume of songs, I remember like setting a goal being like, I want to write 100 songs by the end of high school. That I ended up having 100 songs before the end of grade 11. So then by the time I graduated, I had like 120 something. Yeah. What is your favorite song that you have written, and your favorite song in general? My favorite song I've written might be the one I just wrote just barely last night. But it also might be, I don't know, it's usually like my newer songs, like I'll finish a song and I'll be like, okay, this is my new favorite song that I've written. So it changes a lot, but currently I'm really liking a song that I wrote called A Year Went By that I wrote for one of my friends, but also the one that I finished last night. It's called Adrenaline. I really like that one right now because I just finished it. And my favorite song in general at the moment is, I don't know, anything from Folklore. That's a really good album right now. What was the first song you ever wrote about? So the first song I ever wrote is called Turn the Radio On, and it's basically when I was in 6th grade and maybe 5th. Back then I was like, I cannot have one moment of silence. Like, I need to be listening to music at all times. Like, I was just absolutely obsessed with music, like in a different way than I am now. And so I wrote a song about how, like, you shouldn't go anywhere in the car unless you're listening to the radio, because the radio is like my source of joy. And it's not a very good song. Who inspires you the most? Besides Taylor Swift, obviously, haha. That's a really great question too, because I don't listen to a lot of music besides Taylor Swift, but I'm really inspired by, I don't know, the Beatles, Freddie Mercury, Panic at the Disco, Brendan Urie. I don't know. I'm inspired by Taylor Swift. That's like, I'm sorry you don't want to hear that, but that's the answer. That's the answer. How long does it take you to write a full song? That depends on the song. I have a song idea that's been sitting in my voice memos for over a year now. That's halfway done. I want to finish it because I like the song idea, but it's never happened. The song that I just barely wrote came together in probably a total of like 4 hours, maybe a little bit longer. But usually when I start a song, I come back to it later. Like, I'll write like the chorus and then I'll come back to it later, write like a verse and a pre-chorus and put it down, come back to it later. So it usually takes like a couple days of coming back to it, but sometimes I can sit down and write a song in an hour. I don't know, it really depends. What's the fastest you've written a song? I think just under an hour. It's been happening more recently where I'm writing songs that quickly. When I first started writing songs, it definitely didn't happen that fast at all. What's considered inspiration? How big does it have to be? Inspiration can be anything that makes me feel any sort of emotion. Doesn't have to be that big. I've written full songs about like a crush I've had on someone for 2 days. What usually inspires your songs? Boys. Okay, had to move. There's too much going on right here. Are you pursuing music? Yes, always. Even if I'm a film major, that doesn't mean that's not still the main goal. I definitely still want people to hear the songs that I write. Definitely still want that to be like the main thing that I do in my life. So yes, very much so. What inspired you to start writing music? I don't know, it's just like it just like came naturally to me to like want to do that for some reason. When it came down to a time where I was having a really hard time with like my friends in junior high, I was like, oh, I can turn to songwriting to figure out like my emotions about this. And it just was always like a natural stress reliever for me. What is an instrument you dream to know how to play? The banjo. Couldn't tell you why. I just really want to learn how to play the banjo. Is it easier to write about something that makes you happy or an upsetting experience? Absolutely 100% an upsetting experience. Those emotions are just so much stronger for some reason. I love writing about happy things too, don't get me wrong, but the songs usually come much faster when I'm upset. How do you write your songs? Do you write about personal experiences or whatever comes into your head? Both. I actually have a video of me going over my songwriting process, and I'll put it in a link somewhere. I'll try to figure out how to do that. As for the second part of that question, most of my songs are about personal experiences. I definitely have written songs about just like things that I've imagined happening to me, but I've also written a lot of songs about things that have happened to my friends and things like that. They'll like text me and dump their heart out to me, and I will be able to write a whole song from their perspective about what's happening to them. That's one of my favorite things to do. I also do that when I'm writing wedding songs. Want to shoot a music video? Yes, I do. You know who you are. Let's do it. That would be dope. Do you plan on having any gigs in St. George? I don't really know how to set any up, but I'm definitely planning on going to like open mics or whatever. We'll see. Whatever happens, happens, I guess. How do you come up with melodies? I'm sorry, I can't really answer this question. They just, like, the melody is the easiest part for me. They just happen. Like, I don't know. They just come out of me. I'm sorry. That's a bad answer, but that's just what happens. What's the weirdest / most niche thing you've written a song about? I wrote a song in 8th grade called School Was Normal Today. I literally wrote an entire song about how my day was boring, and it wasn't that bad. It's actually a pretty funny song. Most surprising boy you've ever written a song about? Can't believe I'm gonna say this right now. This is for all my hometown people. I'm only gonna say the first name. I wrote a song about Drake. I don't really have any shame about it. I'm not gonna tell you what song it is, even though some people probably already know that. You can gossip all you want about it. What kind of music do you write? I'm not sure. It's really hard when all my stuff is acoustic. I think it definitely goes toward like a more country-ish vibe, but it's not like country enough that I would say that it's country music, you know? Like, I don't know. You tell me, what kind of music do I write? Who is your latest song about? I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to answer that question yet. How long have you been writing music? I think I already said this. 6 years. How would your life be different without your music? I would feel a lot less of a sense of purpose without my music. Like, I feel like music's like my thing, and if I didn't have like music, I would feel like a lot more sad and useless. And I'm glad I don't feel like that. Do the lyrics and notes come to you, or do you have to search for them? The melody comes a lot more naturally to me than the lyrics do. Like, I usually don't have to spend too much time finding what I want it to sound like. I definitely have to spend a little more time, actually quite a lot more time, writing the lyrics. It's a lot of like trial and error. I can't just like come up with a line. I can't just come up with a verse like in 2 minutes. Like, it's a good long process finding out what I like. Like, lots of times I'll write a whole verse and being like, ugh, I hate that, that was disgusting, don't like that, gonna rewrite it. Some days they come a lot more easily than others, but I definitely have to do a bit of work to get lyrics that I like. Okay, this is the last question. Aww. Do you think you'll make it big? I don't know. I would like to think I have what it takes. I do think I have what it takes, but you have to have a little bit of of luck, I guess. The right person has to see your stuff or whatever. I don't know, but it'd be really awesome if I did, and I don't want to ever give up on that dream, I guess. I don't know, that sounds cheesy, but I don't know, you never know. Alright, this has been a Q&A with Taia. I hope that you all found this a little bit interesting. I'm sorry that I'm talking a little bit quiet, a little bit mumbly, but thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment down below a video suggestion that you'd like me to make, because I'm running a little bit low on ideas, especially since I'm not thinking about YouTube as much as I was when I had more free time. So like, tell me what you want to see. That would make things easier for me. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on the channel, I guess. Okay, bye.